you are creating a chemical. And now we're talking about the dangers of a synthetic chemical. When people ask me about herb, weed, marijuana, I say, that's a herb. Yeah, as long as you don't strike a match to it. Once you heat that damn thing up, you have made a chemical. And you're going to have the same problems of any synthetic chemical. That's why it damages the nerves, has 120 more milligrams of TCP than it used to have years ago. That stuff is lethal. It makes the same chemical as fat does that hits charcoals when you boil something. The same chemical. It's a poisonous hydrocarbon. That's what you get when you barbecue something. You're just killing yourself with A1 sauce. Fool. So I'm just saying you're making this chemical when you strike a match to the marijuana or strike a match to the mullein. And the whole objective is to get away from the dangerous chemical. You follow me? So the question that the brother's asking me is sincerely, is how to do the wrong thing correctly. We're going to do two more, Brother Shabazz. Fine. The sister, the brother. Yeah, we have to learn to be more gentle with each other. Don't y'all be rough like me, okay? Y'all be gentle. Say, brother, I understand your problem. Why don't you just light up this damn shoe, you damn fool? Smoke a Nike. No, I was just teasing.
People going into vegetarian and getting fruits and vegetables, and I'm noticing when you go to the fruit market, if you get like apple, it's like almost like wax on it. How do you get that?
Oh, the pig grease off of it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what they're spraying.
That's cheap oil. That's called rind oil. Well, rind oil is the oil they make lipstick out of too. They just get the dead animals, rats and cats, and put them in a vat and make that oil, and then they put it in lipstick.
How do you get those vegetables?
Well,
because it's so waxy.
No, you can't. So you just have to take some burdock root, or red clover, or dandelion roots, something to help your liver get rid of the waste. You have to live in self-defense. Because everything is your enemy in the white society. The air will kill you, the water will kill you. Everything has become your enemy. Nature is now our enemy. You see? This is the nature of this society. So we have to live in self-defense. We don't control the land. We don't control the food supply. We don't even control our own children. They can call 411 and get your ass locked up. You know that. If you hug them, it's sexual violence. If you hit them, it's physical violence. You can't hug them or kiss them or hit them. I don't even know why y'all having them, frankly. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was told three things, and I wanted to run them by you. For my son, I was told to put Jamaican rum on his head to close the hole, the mole, the soft spot, top of his head. And I was told to rub olive oil on his skin. I don't really know what the purpose of olive oil on his skin was. And I was told to give cod liver oil and eat yams to build his immune system. So I just wanted to ask you if any of that sound.
You haven't brought the Brooklyn Bridge recently, have you? The rum will dry up the scalp and is damaging to the tissue. Alcohol is a poison. You don't want to put poison on the skin. It gets absorbed into the blood and damages the liver. That's not the way to go. You want the spot to close up.
You said the soft spot on the...
That's called a fontanelle. You have these open spots on the scalp, and they're called fontanelles. And that's bone mending together. And we use something that helps bone and joints repair themselves, which is glucosamine and chondroitin, which we went over. You see how these things begin to repeat themselves? And the cod liver oil is a source of vitamin A. And you can get vitamin A from carrots and alfalfa and a vegetarian vitamin A, which the child would be very easily to digest. Is the child being breastfed? No. The titty dried up. So it would be a vegetarian vitamin A and don't put the alcohol on the scalp. You want to use some nettle. Nettle will help with the scalp more than anything else. What was the other?
Olive oil and yam. Olive oil and skin.
Yam is good for digestion, but it also causes the person who consume the most yam to have the highest twin birth rate. They have more twins than any other people in Africa, the people that eat yams. Wild yam cream and all that stuff the ladies rub on. So, let us say that you were better off with shea butter than that stuff that you're using. But you were attempting to do something correct. It's just the source of information will sound like something slave kind of remedy. You find that a lot in the slave journals coming to Alabama archives. They have all these slave remedies, which I've read before. That's why I'm quite well aware of what you're talking about. That's an old slave remedy, which we had to do when we were owned by somebody. But, you know, these things happen when you've been miseducated, so I don't fault that stuff. It's just now we have an alternative way to do things, and so we can use the shea butter instead of the olive oil, and use, if you want to help the liver, then you can use the wild yam tablets or dandelion root. If you want to stimulate hair growth, you use nettle. If you want to help close up the bones knit, you use glucosamine and chondroitin. They are available, and you can get glucosamine and chondroitin cream and rub on the spot, with better results than the stuff that you're using, actually. But it sounds fairly good for a slave remedy.
But wouldn't it close up naturally anyway?
It would close up naturally if the birthing was not mediated, if the mother was not given oxytocin, which causes the skull bones to collide together too forcefully and causes a big water spot there. Oxytocin is a drug they give ladies to speed up contractions, but it makes the contractions too hard and forceful, and it takes the contractions out of rhythm, you see, and it causes the skull to collide too hard together and causes the spot to fill up. And it also has the effect of messing up what we call ancestral memory. You know, it messes up your genetic code, in other words. Ancestral memory loss, we call it. It's induced by synthetic oxytocin. So I was assuming it was some kind of a hospital birth. That's my assumption. Was it? Yeah, see, there's a whole lot that's going on there with the oxytocin. Then the lady was laying on her back with her feet in stirrups, which is the old position for raping boys in Greek culture. So she was birthing the child in the old homosexual rape position. I mean, so it's a whole spiritual vibration on this. We all need a cleansing. We're all here to cleanse each other, because each black person you meet is in some state of therapy, or they missed their therapy session altogether, probably, you know. So we got to look at each other as trying to help each other be well, you know what I mean? Yes. Llaila, this is the very last question.
When she told her about cleaning the vegetables with that sticky stuff, what do you do?
See, the problem with the wax, which is usually rind oil or pork grease or some combination of commercial oil, which they use in factories. The problem with that is the plant has been systemically fertilized and herbicide and pesticides. The chemicals are in the seed, and you cannot wash the chemicals out of the plants anymore. You could do that years ago, maybe in 1950, you could wash the plants and it'd be fine. But now the chemicals are inside the plant, and washing them off the skin don't mean a damn thing. That's why I didn't even get involved in putting them in vinegar and all these old-time remedies. Don't mean nothing. Just you can wash it off with that polluted water you got in your faucet. And take a herb and try to flush the stuff out. I mean, you're in survival mode.
That was burdock root, red clover, and what else?
Burdock root. You don't have sassafras up here. Burdock root, red clover, dandelion root, echinacea, golden seal, astragalus. There are quite a few. Sumac. Quite a few.
You don't have sassafras?
Y'all have sassafras?
I've seen.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it grows in my yard. I mean, I haven't seen around here. I just see other things that don't want to even be here growing. That's a joke. I take it back. Thank you very much.